and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be going through every single book I own that I have not yet read, aka my physical TBR. I've stacked them around me. There's so many books to get through. I'm just gonna hold them up, show you guys what book it is. I'm not really gonna go into depth in every single book because it would take ages and nobody's got time for that. So first of all, I'm going to start off with two books that one of my friends has lent me. So I don't actually own them, but obviously they are still on my physical TBR because I do want to read them, and I'll probably read them quite soon. So that is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, which I'm very excited about, and The Complete Mouse. So these are obviously quite well known. These are the first two books. Then I don't even know where to start, guys. Right, we'll start with my biographies and autobiographies that I have that I still need to read. Alistair Cook autobiography, Ali, Blessed, the autobiography by George Best, First Men In, Leading from the Front, and Middleton, the Amy Winehouse, the biography, which is really short, so that won't take me long at all. Eddie Jones, My Life and Rugby, Billy Connolly, Windswept and Interesting, so I'll let you know if it is windswept and interesting once I've read it. I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy, which this book is like taken over last year, so I'm really excited to read this. Only heard good things about it. Coming Up for Air by Tom Daley, Relentless 12 Rounds to Success by Eddie Hearn, The Man in the Middle, Howard Webb. So that was my stack of biographies. Now I do want to mention as well that all these books will not include my non-fiction books that I am yet to read. So these are the most non-fiction like that I will be showing. Next will be the classics. The first one is French. It's Le Petit Nicolas. I had to read, I think, some of the stories or maybe the whole book, I can't really remember, for school because I'm from Belgium and this was, I don't know, mandatory reading, but I want to read the whole thing because it's actually quite cute and the stories are quite fun. The Steel Flea by Nikolai Leskov, which is just Penguin Littleback classic. It's pretty much short stories, I think, or it's one short story. Not 100% sure, but I got it. Jane Eyre, Charlotte Bronte. I actually have two copies of that because I think I had this one from a charity shop or something, and then one of my best friends sent me this and I just don't want to get rid of it. She even added a little sticky note in there for me. So I have Dracula by Bram Stoker, Anna Karenina Tolstoy, Don Quixote or Don Quixote by Cervantes, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I've started this book before and never really finished it, so yeah, there we go. I got 84 pages in, so I really want to restart and finish this time. So that's my little collection of classics. Now I also have some what I would call contemporary classics. Cleopatra and Frankenstein, Babel or Babel or however you pronounce it. I have it. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which is really chunky and I'm not even sure what it's about, so this will be interesting. The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. Not sure how to pronounce his name, but The Book Thief, very classic. People have read this, raved about this. I've been wanting to read this for ages. Apparently I got 28 pages in, but I don't think I did. I think that might have been my mom. So I really want to read this. A Little Life, because I like making myself cry with books. So there's that. The Complete Stories of Sherlock Holmes, which my parents got me as a present, and it is a chunky. The letters are really small, the pages are Bible thin, and I am so excited to read this. So I have this one, Grim Tales by Philip Pullman. So if I am not mistaken, I think this is a retelling of sorts of the Grimm fairy tale. For my hardbacks, I have The Outsider by Stephen King, and I have Be Careful What You Wish For by Jeffrey Archer. Then we'll go into some more fantasy style books. Ink Death by Cornelia Funk. I think I read this when I was a kid, but I can't remember if I did. I seem to remember always having it on my shelf or always having it out from the library, but I don't think I ever actually read it. So we have that one. Also don't know if this is, oh, apparently this is the finale to the Inkheart trilogy, so maybe I need to read the first two first. That would be good. So I don't know when I'm gonna get to this. The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. Actually, I have read this before when I was a kid, so like years ago, and I remember absolutely loving it. So I really want to reread this, and then after I've read this one, I also have The Labyrinth of the Spirits, Prisoner of Heaven, and The Angel's Game. So these are all, I don't know if they're interconnected standalones or if they're all a series, not entirely sure, but I want to read them all because I think I would really enjoy them all. Powerless by Lauren Roberts, which I'm really excited about. My boyfriend just got me this very recently, so I'm excited to get to this. Legends and Lattes, which is a cozy fantasy book. 12 Years a Slave, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. The Naked Sun by Isaac Asimov. How to Survive Everything When There's No One Left to Trust, which sounds quite interesting. I can't remember where I got this. The Kiss of Deception. Before Your Memory Fades. I read the first 2 books in this little mini series, internet-connected standalone things, and I flew through them. I love them, so I'm really excited to get to this one. When We Cease to Understand the World by Benjamin Labatut. My best friend from home actually read this and she recommended it to me. My boyfriend got it for me and I'm really excited to get to it. I think it's quite short, but I think I will need some time to get through it because I feel like it's gonna make me think and it's gonna make me reflect and change the way I see things. So really excited for this one. Violence of Hope, which is also really interesting. It's all about the violence in the Holocaust, the instruments of hope and liberation in mankind's darkest hour. And I played a violin. I have been playing the violin since I was 4 years old, so I really am excited to read about the role that the instruments played in the Holocaust and into bringing that hope and keeping the hope alive. A Dutiful Boy, a memoir of secrets, lies, and family love, which is a random one I got for free somewhere. I can't even remember. I think it was something at uni, so I'll read this, see if I like it. Not really heard anybody speak about it. So The Murder Room by P.D. Jane. Adrenaline by Jeff Abbott, which I'm also really excited about. The Serial Killer's Daughter by Alice Hunter. I thought I would be able to keep it all separated by genre, but I've just dove in and I've messed up my own system now. But that's alright, we'll keep going. The first book in the Crescent City series, which is House of Earth and Blood. I don't owe the second one, and the third one is about to come out, I'm pretty sure, so I don't owe on that one either, obviously. So I want to read this one so I can read the second and then the third one when it comes out. The Pillars of the Earth, Winter of the World, Fall of Giants. I need to figure out what series they belong to because I know these are book 1 and book 2 of the Century trilogy, but I feel like Pillars of the Earth are also some kind of series or trilogy or something like that, and I need to figure out how it's connected to the other books so I don't read them out of order. The entire box set of the Cassandra Clare Shadowhunters series, so I need to get through this. My boyfriend actually owns the exact same box set, so we might be donating one, but want to get through this entire thing. I feel like it's going to be a bit too YA for me, but I think I will still really enjoy it, so I just want to fly through this. I feel like that's going to be just an easy one to get through. The first 3 in the Harry Potter series. Now, I want to have the whole series because I really like Harry Potter. And I think I've read them in Dutch when I was a kid. I can't remember though. I don't think I would have ever read them in English. So I've got the first 3. My boyfriend's got a couple of the other ones, so I'm not even sure if together we make a complete set, but I want to read them. And then I actually have some more classics because I collect the Penguin Clothbound Classic series collection, whatever it's called. So I have 5 of those here with me. Oh, I should say as well, all these books that I own that are...
Please try again.
All these books that I'm talking about just now and that I'm showing you are books that I own and that I have here in Scotland with me. I still have quite a lot of other books that I own in Belgium that I've not read yet, so just a disclaimer, but I've got 2 or 3 more of the Clothbound Classics in Belgium. Here I have A Christmas Carol and Other Christmas Writings, the Iliad, the Odyssey, the Aeneid, I don't know how to pronounce these in English, but the Aeneid, and Wuthering Heights. The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. I've read one other book by her and I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't a favourite, but I did enjoy it, so I'm excited to get to that one. All the Bright Places, which again, I feel like this is gonna make me sob uncontrollably, it's gonna make me cry, and I can't wait. I can't wait for that book to hurt me. On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, which I've heard is just absolutely beautiful, so excited about that. The Midnight Library, which got really popular at some point last year or the year before. 5 Feet Apart and All This Time, which I'm pretty sure most people have seen the movie of 5 Feet Apart, but I don't think a lot of people have actually read the books, and I didn't even know there was a second book, so excited to read this little duology. All the Light We Cannot See, which is still in its plastic wrapping, but I have this and I'm actually really excited to read it. I have not taken the wrapping off because I've obviously not read it yet and I don't want to ruin it, but excited to get to that. Murakami, A Hard-Boiled Wonderland and the End of the World. I've read some Murakami before and I really enjoy his writing style, so I'm sure I will enjoy this book as well. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstein. The Circus of the Night is one of my favorite books ever, so I can't wait to get to this. If We Were Villains, which is again dark academia. I feel like I want to read some more Shakespeare before I get into that, because I've heard that it uses a lot of Shakespeare quotes and references that if you don't really know Shakespeare you can't really follow that well, but anywho, I have that. If He Had Been With Me, which again I think is gonna make me cry, and I'm excited. Things We Never Got Over by Lucis Score. The God of Small Things, which one of my really good friends got me. Books 2 and 4 in the Twisted series. So I have Twisted Games and Twisted Lies. So I will obviously need books 1 and 3 to be able to like read the series, but excited to get to it whenever I end up doing that. The Hating Game by Sally Thorne. Love on the Brain and Love Theoretically, both by Ali Hazelwood. Red, White and Royal Blue and The Flat Chair by Beth O'Leary. Practical Magic, which I feel like at this point is kind of like a fall fan classic, fan favorite. Belladonna, which again I've heard controversial things about, mixed reviews. Anxious People by Frederick Backman. I read A Man Called Ove, or however you're supposed to pronounce it, and I loved that book, so high hopes for this one. Sally Rooney, Conversations with Friends. I have read, what's it called? Normal People. I have read that. I did enjoy it, so we'll see how this one goes. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which again, really excited for this. Heard good things. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I have read It Ends With Us. I think I read that in 2020, no, not 2020, 2021, 2022, something like that. Liked it. Nothing special, not my favorite book ever, but I am excited to get into this one. Harry Soto is back. And finally, Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So these are all my books. These are all my fiction books that I own that I have not yet read. I do have some poetry books as well that I'm obviously not going to get into, because I feel like poetry books you can't really finish reading. I feel like poetry books are more to dip in and out of, or to highlight favorite passages, or go back and forth between. I don't feel like you can really finish reading a poetry book. I also have some other books in the bookshelves that my boyfriend owns that I really want to read. So he, for example, has Atlas 6, he has Dance of Thieves, he has Percy Jackson series. He's got quite a lot of books, so I have not put those in here. And I also have books that I either currently have or have reserved from the library. I've got like 7 books from the library. As you can tell, quite a lot of books. I will count them and I will put the number on the screen to see how many books I have just spoke about, which obviously doesn't include poetry books, doesn't include non-fiction books, doesn't include library books, and doesn't include the books my boyfriend owns that I want to read. So I think this is going to be an issue. Considering the amount of books I have here, I have put myself on a self-imposed book buying ban until I have read, I've always said until I've read all of these. I think I'm going to change that and say until I've read at least 50 to 75%. So that's going to be my goal. In the month of January, I don't think I'm going to get too much because I'm actually reading through the whole entire Bible in this month. So I'm probably not going to be able to read a lot of books, but hopefully by the end of this year I will have made a big dent into this pile of unread literature. That's it from me for today. Let me know how many books you have that you've not read yet. Let me know if there's any other videos you would like to see from me, and I will see you in the next one.